The Canadian national football team, nicknamed the Canucks or sometimes Les Rouges, is the official representative of Canada in international football, governed by the Canadian Soccer Association. The roots of the team date back to the early 20th century, with its first official international matches played in 1924 against Australia. These matches marked the beginning of Canada's football identity on the global stage. At that time, Canada was far from being a football powerhouse. Other sports like ice hockey and basketball dominated the national scene, leaving football in a secondary position. Nevertheless, the national team played an important role in spreading the game and building its foundations across Canadian society. The Canadian Soccer Association was officially founded in 1912 and became a member of FIFA in 1913, opening the door for Canada to participate in international competitions. For decades, the national team struggled to make an impact, but a breakthrough came in the 1980s when Canada qualified for the 1986 FIFA World Cup in Mexico, its first ever appearance on football's biggest stage. Canada's World Cup journey in 1986 was short-lived. The team was eliminated in the group stage after 3 losses to France, Hungary, and the former Soviet Union, failing to score a single goal. Despite the disappointing results, that participation was seen as a milestone, giving Canada international recognition and inspiring future generations. In the following decades, the team faced ups and downs, missing out on several World Cups but showing resilience in regional tournaments. The most significant highlight came in 2000, when Canada won the CONCACAF Gold Cup, their most prestigious achievement to date, following an earlier regional title in 1985. Following their 2000 Gold Cup triumph, the Canadian national team entered a new era of challenges. The ambition was to build on that historic success and create a competitive squad, but consistency proved difficult to maintain. In FIFA World Cup qualifiers, Canada repeatedly fell short of reaching the finals, struggling against strong CONCACAF rivals such as Mexico, the United States, and Costa Rica. While the team had talented individuals, the lack of depth and limited football infrastructure in Canada hindered their progress. The early 2000s saw the emergence of a new generation of players like Dwayne De Rosario and Atiba Hutchinson, who became icons of Canadian football thanks to their leadership and outstanding performances. Although they could not secure World Cup qualification, they kept Canada competitive in regional tournaments and ensured the team remained a respected force within the Confederation. On the continental stage, Canada continued to compete in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, reaching the semi-finals in 2007. These occasional strong runs showcased the team's ability to surprise stronger opponents, even if they were not regular contenders for the title. Meanwhile, football in Canada began to gain more recognition domestically. The inclusion of Canadian clubs such as Toronto FC, Vancouver Whitecaps, and CF Montreal in Major League Soccer, MLS, created a stronger platform for player development and gave Canadian football a much-needed boost in professionalism and visibility. As the 2010s unfolded, the Canadian national team began a significant transformation, fueled by a new generation of talent developed through MLS clubs and improved youth academies. This new wave of players marked the beginning of a real renaissance for Canadian football. The standout star of this era is Alphonso Davies, who has become the face of Canadian football. His remarkable success with Bayern Munich, winning the UEFA Champions League and multiple Bundesliga titles, established him as one of the best left-backs in the world. Davies is not only a phenomenal individual talent, but also a symbol of hope and ambition for Canadian football. Alongside Davies, other key figures emerged, such as Jonathan David, the prolific striker for French club Lille, who played a crucial role in their Ligue 1 title win. His consistent goal-scoring ability made him one of CONCACAF's most dangerous forwards. Additional names like Tajon Buchanan and Steven Eustachio added depth and quality to the squad. Under the guidance of head coach John Herdman, this new generation achieved a historic milestone by qualifying for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, ending a 36-year absence from the tournament since 1986. Impressively, Canada topped the CONCACAF qualifying group ahead of traditional giants like Mexico and the United States, signaling a new era for the team. Although Canada's 2022 World Cup campaign ended in the group stage with defeats against Belgium, Croatia, and Morocco, the team earned global respect for their fearless performances. More importantly, the tournament proved that Canada is no longer a mere participant, but a nation with genuine potential to compete on the world stage. After their historic return to the World Cup in 2022, the Canadian national team entered a new era of ambition, particularly with the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup, which will be co-hosted by Canada, the United States, and Mexico. This tournament will be the largest in history, featuring 48 teams, and represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Canadian football to shine on the global stage. Canada will play a central role in hosting matches at iconic venues such as BC Place in Vancouver and BMO Field in Toronto, giving Canadian fans the chance to witness World Cup action on home soil for the very first time. This event is expected to spark unprecedented excitement for football across the country. From a sporting perspective, expectations are high for the current golden generation led by Alphonso Davies and Jonathan David, supported by promising young talents. For the first time, Canada enters a World Cup cycle not simply as a participant, but as a team with real ambitions to progress beyond the group stage. The combination of home advantage and passionate support may propel the team to new heights. The legacy of hosting the World Cup will go beyond the tournament itself. Canada is investing heavily in upgrading stadiums, improving youth academies, and expanding grassroots programs to ensure long-term growth of the sport. Football is rapidly becoming the second most popular sport in the country, and the 2026 World Cup is expected to accelerate this trend. Historically, Canada's trophy cabinet remains modest, with the 1985 CONCACAF Championship and the 2000 Gold Cup as their major achievements. However, the ambition now extends far beyond regional titles. The Canadian Soccer Association has set a clear goal: to establish Canada as a top 30 nation in the FIFA World Ranking and maintain that status consistently, a target that is becoming more realistic with each passing year. The rise of Canadian players in top European leagues is a key factor in this evolution. Alongside Davies and David, talents such as Tajon Buchanan at Inter Milan and Steven Eustachio at FC Porto are making names for themselves internationally. These experiences provide invaluable depth and raise the competitive level of the national squad. Domestically, the launch of the Canadian Premier League, Corporal, in 2019, has provided a crucial platform for homegrown talent to develop. Along with Canadian clubs competing in Major League Soccer, MLS, the Corporal ensures a steady pipeline of players for the national team, strengthening the overall ecosystem of Canadian football. Another cornerstone of Canada's progress is head coach John Herdman, whose leadership has transformed the team's mentality. Known for his tactical discipline and motivational skills, Herdman has instilled confidence and unity in the squad. As 2026 approaches, he is expected to continue steering Canada toward new milestones, aiming not only for participation, but for real impact. Looking ahead, Canada's aspirations are clear: to establish itself as a regular World Cup contender and to consistently reach the knockout rounds. Achieving this would mark the beginning of a golden era and solidify Canada's place on the global football map. In summary, the journey of the Canadian national team is nothing short of remarkable. From humble beginnings in the 1920s, through decades of struggle, to the emergence of world-class stars and the honor of co-hosting the 2026 World Cup, Canada's football story is one of perseverance, growth, and unshakable ambition. The future of Canadian football has never looked brighter.